Well, the Super Duty Ranger specs have been released, and I need help because I think I've done something silly. I bought one. Right, so I got my list here because I'm not smart enough to remember all these points, and there's a few good points in here. Why I did walk into a Ford dealership 2 to 3 months ago and laid down $1,000 to be pretty much one of the first in my area to actually lock in a purchase on a Ranger Super Duty. And we'll talk about whether I'm actually, or should I keep that order. I do have a chance to get out of that and get my $1,000 back. And there's a fairly few good reasons why I would go through with it, and quite a lot of reasons why I wouldn't go through with it. But we'll run through the specs that they've released first, because everything they released yesterday, or the last couple of days, is exactly what everyone was hoping for. They really have delivered Ford, and what we're really going to focus on is the double cab chassis, because that's what's sort of relevant in this space. Being a travel channel, we're a family, towing a caravan, we want the dual cab. Quickly run through all of them though. Single cab 83, space cab 87, let's call it, and dual cab's pretty much 90 grand, plus on-roads, plus a tray. So the prices they've released sound a lot better than they actually are. By the time you add the tray and on-roads, the dual cab chassis being probably over $100,000 by the time you drive it away. But let's just keep it at the 89,990, plus on-roads and tray. Putting it against a dual cab 79, it is actually now dearer. So a dual cab 79 lists at 83,500. That's for a GXL. The Ranger is an XL, but spec for spec, I would say that the Ranger still probably packs a fair few more features in the XL variant over a GXL Land Cruiser. So I think that's a relevant price comparison. So the Ranger being roughly $6,000 dearer than a dual cab 79 with similar features. The XL Ranger's probably got more, to be honest. But the big differences here are the weights. GVM of the Ranger is 4,500, towing of 4,500, and an 8-ton GCM, as they did tease at, and they've stuck with those numbers. Interestingly, it still says 4,500 GVM, and there has been that, argument around that, is that a light truck license? I don't think it is. I think it's 4,501 kilos. So you're over, then it's LR. So I think they've got that right. The 79 is a 3,500 GVM, a 3,500 brake towing, and a 7-ton GCM. So the Ranger numbers are absolutely wipe the floor with it. The big one would be payload. Payload on the dual cab is 1,825. The 79 series is 1,325. So you're talking about 500 kilos of more usable payload. And yes, you could get that with a GVM upgrade on the 79 series, but then you potentially void your warranty. So that is a massive bonus with the Ranger. Both those payload figures, obviously you've got to add a tray to. So let's say another 300, 350 kilos for a tray. It's still a lot though. Like you're talking American spec levels at 1825. It's plenty of payload. Power's interesting. Ford's been sensible. They've actually lowered the power of the 3 litre. So it's a 3 litre V6 turbo diesel, as in all Rangers, as has been around for many, many years with many, many, many issues. They fixed everything. It's going to be super reliable now. That's what they're saying. And they've actually lowered the power. So from 184 to 154 kilowatt. And you always get those people that would say that all these modern engines, they're pushing them too hard. They're making too much power out of small capacity diesel engines. And Ford's just basically acknowledged that and gone from 184 to 154. What is that telling us? Maybe there's a lot of truth to that we're just pushing things too hard. 600 newton meters of torque is the same. Interestingly, that's 3 kilowatt higher than your 79 series, but a whopping 170 newton meters higher than your 70 series. So obviously all you can get now is the 2.8 litre turbo diesel. And I'm pretty sure, funnily enough, that 154 kilowatt is what they used to rate the V8 at. Comment below if I'm wrong. I think that's right, 154. So they've really gone after them. 130 litres of fuel each, which we did cover in the previous video, and they've stuck to that. Ground clearance is massive at 300. That is quite a lot for a standard vehicle, as is wading depth. 850 millimetres of water would probably give most the heebie-jeebies, unless you're right into forward driving. That'll be more than enough for anyone. Yeah, so look, they're the hard specs of, what the Ranger's just delivered in so many ways over the 79. Been really hard not to be excited about those figures. Righto guys, I'm going to have to interrupt the episode right there, and this is the part of the episode where I'm going to try and sell you something. Now these are our own products. We've had smarttouringsystems.com.au for around 7 years. We have some killer merch on there, but we also have some awesome touring products, including the Quick Fit Starlink mini mount. Brand new to market. We don't think there's any other mount on the market that is as simple and as easy to use. Walk up, put the Starlink in, click it down, lock it. Then the beauty of it is when you get home from your adventure, you can take it out and mount it at home, so you only have the one internet provider. It's Australian designed, Australian manufactured, and we're super proud to offer the Starlink mini mount. Now let's get back to the episode, and please let me know what you think, whether I should buy this bloody jet ski hauler. Now, if I was in a position where, let's say, we needed to upgrade the vehicle, would I go out and buy a dual cab 79 series with a 2.8 litre motor in it? I don't think so. I really wouldn't. The charm of the 79 series isn't about pure performance and capability. It's about the old school, feel of it, and that V8 makes that vehicle, albeit very underrated and underpowered, but it still makes that vehicle. It's not always about the sheer numbers, it's about the emotion attached to a vehicle. I think the 2.8 litre is actually a really good motor. It's served Toyota well, albeit with a few timing chain issues. I just don't think it's a driveline that I would buy in a 79 series. If I was in the market for a dual cab, like a domestic dual cab ute, I'd still like a Hilux. I do like a Toyota, but the towing capacities and weight ratings are just not there for what we use it for. So if I was in the market for a new vehicle, and maybe I am, I'm still not sure, it is very hard to go past this Ford Ranger, reliability issues aside. And Ford Ranger lovers, please comment below and tell me I'm wrong and I'm just a Toyota fanboy, and that the Rangers will have no issues. They've fixed all of these issues, because I think they're onto a fantastic vehicle. They're going to give the industry a real shake-up. I think the heavy-duty American trucks are the ones that are really, really going to feel the pinch. Probably nearly more so than the likes of the 79 series cruiser, because they're more comparative, that if you really want to tow heavy loads, those people will already buy an American trucks. Probably not so much the 79. The 79's just got such a fan base there that the people that are using them, are using them probably not to try and tow 4 tonne. I think they're really going to get people that are about to lay down 160,000 plus Australian dollars on an American heavy duty truck, that are just going to be like, well, let's save the 70 grand and buy something that is fully warranted, fully developed, already right-hand drive in Australia, not converted over here, and then there's the potential issues and quality issues I have seen of that. I'm sure they're done really well, but I've seen firsthand some later model ones, and they're not all great. Let's just say that. So there's a lot of benefits to buying something that is, purely developed to do a job. That being the Ford Ranger with a local warranty. So, right, that's where I'm at. I'm really struggling to not buy it. So I do have a deposit down on one, like I said. This wasn't clickbait. I have, as I'm sitting here right now, I am a Ranger Super Duty owner, which, when you say it like that, well, it's kind of scary. And look, I love the 79 and the V8, and we are not in a position to just buy another $100,000 car. That is certainly not what I'm going to do. I'd love to be able to buy it, build it, muck around with it, use it and do trips, but still have the 79 series there as a safety net, because the other thing I do really like doing is, being involved with new products, especially in this space, building cars, and just generally I'm into cars. I'm a bit of a car nut. So the idea of owning one to build one and to test is more exciting to me in a way than actually owning it long term. Because I think there's still one really big thing that the Ranger will fall short on over the 79 series, and that is resale value. And not because the Ranger's overly bad, it's just because the 79 series is insanely good. It is a great financial decision owning a 79 V8. Like, it just is. I've done it once before. They just hold their value inherently well. I think the Ranger Super Duty for a while will be one of those cars. The people that have got in early and got orders, It is one of those things that you could potentially build up, put a nice train canopy on, some accessories, and turn around and flog it off, and potentially not lose any money. They are going to be really sought after in the caravan and towing world, and I think the XL still is the one to get. The cab chassis, don't wait for the XLT. The XL will have more than enough features to go and tour around the country, and obviously all the payloads. So I really need your help, guys. I really don't know what to do. I can sell the 79, get into my Ranger heavy duty, and it gives me, something I can build, something I can play with. As a YouTuber, it gives me great content. Even if it breaks down, it's great content, right? But that fear there is what is still holding me back. The breaking down part, and also the value at the end of the day when you go to sell it in, say, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, or 2 years' time. What's it like compared to the 79 series? Again, if I was in the market, I needed a vehicle right now, I would probably keep that order. I would probably go into it knowing I do have a warranty that backs me up. I don't have to modify the vehicle to the point where I don't have a warranty. But the fact of the matter is I do own a V8 79 series Land Cruiser, and that is going to be very hard to let go to get into what I think is still not reliable enough. Comment below what you think. Don't forget, you only live once. Get out there and enjoy it. See you next time.